Hi, I'm Martin Bailey, and today I'm going to do something that I've been doing every year since I think 2007, which is to record a video. Well, no, I haven't been doing the video since 2007, but what I have been doing is creating a top 10 of my favorite images for the year since 2007. And today I'm going to do something different in that I'm going to record the whole process. I've just opened Capture One and I have selected my finals folder, which is where I copy all of the best images, all of the pics from my shoots, and I keep them in a 2025 folder, so a folder for that year. And I think it's really important to do this because it helps us to take stock as with where we are as photographers. And also it helps to refine our editing skills. And I don't mean the skills of editing each individual image, but editing a set of images and culling down our images. And I think it's just good practice and a good thing to do. And you can then go through and look over the years. I mean, if I go into, because this is my finals library, if I can go all the way back to 2007, and actually see the images that were selected for each year. And if you do this, you can really get a good view of where you were 10 years ago, where you were 5 years ago. And hopefully, we continue to grow as photographers and artists. And I think it's just a really nice thing to do. So what I'm going to do is normally I take more time than this, but for a number of reasons, I'm going to time myself and try to do this in 1 hour. And that's partly because I want to do a video that I'm not going to edit. So we'll be like, with this introduction, maybe 1 hour and 5 minutes, maybe a little bit more. But I'm going to start a timer and I'm going to try to do this. I'm going to select my 2025 folder first. So here we have this. This is the folder for all of my 2025 work. Some of it's not in order because I've been doing astrophotography with software that kind of destroys the EXIF data. So some of these astro photos are not going to be in order at all. The rest of it will go through in the order of the year. I didn't go to Namibia this year, so we don't have any of those, but I do have a landscape and a wildlife Hokkaido tour to go through, and then some of the other stuff that I've done through the year, mainly from my garden and from the telescope, astrophotography. So I'm going to have a quick drink of coffee and we're going to see if we can do this in 1 hour. I've got two goals. One is to create my top 10. And while we're doing this, I also want to create a selection of 12 images that I can release to my Patreon supporters I do a monthly wallpaper, but things have changed. I'm not doing it monthly anymore, but I do still try to provide a package of wallpaper shots, desktop wallpaper shots that people can use if they want to. And I want to do that selection as well today. So we're going to be busy. I'm not sure if we're going to do this. And if we have to run over a little, then I just will. But the goal is to do this in 1 hour. And it's 16:48 now. I'll tell you what, let's just set. I have to do this in Japanese because my Echo Alexas are in Japanese. Echo, 1時間のタイマーを開始して。Okay, we're on the timer. So I'm going to create, this is all part of it. I'm going to go up to the top 10 list here and create a new, it's not an album. Here we go. So I want a new album inside top 10s. And I'm going to call this 2025 top 10. And I'm actually, no, we'll move these around as necessary. I'm going to make that the selects collection. And that way, when I hit Command J on my keyboard, the image that I have selected in the main library will be dropped into the selects folder. So I'm going to start here. This, oops, don't know. Oh, I went up to the, I'm on the wrong, got the wrong area selected. This was my first Andromeda shot. Quickly proceeded by this one, which was much better. I'm actually going to put that in there, and just check that it is actually going into the, yeah, we've got one image in the 2025 top 10 selection now. And I'm going to keep going through. I like this. I'm not going to put it in for now. That's an Orion shot that I bettered later. And that's another one that I bettered later. Now we're going to go through some of my landscape work from Hokkaido. These, I've picked these before. I'm going to put them in for now. This one in for now, because there is always still a very special place in my heart for this work. I'm going to do that as well. Why these are not going in? So something's just changed. What happened? Am I still in? Oh dear. Why does stuff like this happen? I'm still hitting. I've just hit the same key and it's no longer putting them into my selects folder. Okay, so I don't want to have to do this manually each time. Add to selects. Okay, that even selecting that. Okay, now we've got 3. Capture One, look at this, it's going down the toilet. It didn't give me an update until I selected the folder. I'm going to tell you something that I'm really disappointed with about the Capture One product at the moment. I decided a few months ago that I was not going to renew my license for Capture One because I think the incremental updates that they're doing to Capture One now are so irrelevant that I didn't feel as though I needed an update, and I cancelled my subscription. And the moment I did, I could not access, I couldn't even open my catalogs. And that to me is disgusting. You know, it's not just giving you access to updates, but they actually lock you out of your catalogs. Bad on the team there. I'm glad I ended up not staying on that team as an affiliate and as an ambassador, because you know their marketing techniques and the way they're doing their work now is just not on. I don't like it at all. Anyway, I'm still going through these images. I'm going to put this one in. This is slightly different to the ones that I've had over the years. I'm going to just go back and check once more that these are actually going into this folder. Yes, they are. So, yeah, I'm very disappointed in Capture One. The product, I think, is still probably the best that you can use, but the team, their marketing, down the toilet. I don't know. So with this one, I am wondering, I like it. I'm going to put it in and take a look later. These are very similar to stuff that I've got over the previous years. A lot of this is, of course, because I go to the same places, but I want to, I remember shooting this with a friend nearby. So I'm going to tell you a little bit as I do this, why I add them when I do and why I don't sometimes. Like this, you know, I like the image, but I'm Yeah, it just doesn't really do a lot for me now. Here's the cable cars. So this one, I might add this, not this. So I was using a soft focus effect, and I do like this one. I'm going to put this in, even though I've added that to the selection a number of times. I'm going to include this as well. This one, I remember the seas being really rough, and I went to black and white. I'm not sure. I might end up changing the color in this, but I'm going to put it into the selection for now, because I love those dynamic waves. Here, I'm not going to wait for these all to res in. I am going to select, let's see, select one of these with some nice swirly water. And this is what I do. I go, if I've got a number of images that are the same or very similar, I will go back and forth and just make sure that I'm getting the one that's sort of the optimal out of the set. I like the waves in the background. I think I'm going to go with that one. Okay, that's a lovely shot to me as well. Just maybe not to everybody, but I love this light on there. I'm going to put this in here as well. Back to the Torrii. That's the next day with a smattering of snow. The boat graveyard. Let's see. Lovely sky. Got the Rishili Island in the background there. Okay, let's bang this in. So I'm trying to be somewhat selective, but because I'm only going to have to remove these later, and that's going to be part of the process. But I want to give myself a chance to look at these in context again a little bit later before I'm going to put that in before we close this up. Yeah, so there's the group. We have a lot of these sort of images. I love these dark skies. I'm going to put this in, take a look later. Love the reflections there. This one I think needs to go in for now as well. I'm gonna leave those. We got some. We had a quick visit to a lake where we saw some swans. Not gonna put these in for now. Okay. So we also went to an undersea aquarium. The only thing that was undersea about it was we actually could look out of a portal window and see that we were under the murky sea, and the rest of it could have been on above sea and had no difference at all. It was just an aquarium. Okay, I like the wide aspect there. I'm not sure I'm going to keep that. I think so. Keeping in mind that I'm also looking for 12 wallpaper images. I'm going to drop that in because cheeky little face. That I'm going to put in as well. I also, though, I know that I want some of the ones that are coming up with the monkeys playing in the snow. So here, let's check. Let's get one of these ones where they're playing. It's pretty dynamic, but I don't think I'm going to keep that for now. Here we are. So these guys playing around in the snow. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to put this in, and this, and probably this. And I've also, on advice from a friend, I have started to use DxO Pro, and that is probably going to help me bring out a little bit more detail in these images to get these guys. I'm happy with the detail, but it's when you see the little bit more that comes out, it's almost like the the realization when I moved to Capture One that there is more in the images. I'm kind of getting that from DxO, and that's another reason why I almost decided not to use Capture One. But DxO doesn't really work the same way with the catalog and stuff, and but the image quality is out of this world. So I'll probably take these through DxO before I actually use them. As you'll see my before after with the snow there. A nice catch light there, but it's not a top 10. Okay, got some panning stuff. There's some breath coming out. Don't really want to go in and do try to clone in snow across all of those. Let's see. So here's the little long-tailed tit. I think I'm going to put one of these in. I'm going to try that. I want one that's a little bit more. There's a nicer catch light there. Got some in a few days, I think, where he's a little bit more head on, so I'll probably end up using that. Nice full frame, but nothing to write home about. Okay. So you'll see I go through this relatively quickly. I know the photos. I'm not too interested in pondering over each one too much, and I'm of course on a timer. I like the abstract feel to a lot of these panned takeoff shots, and well, no, I don't know. I think probably not. If I can get one of these that this little Ezo squirrel. I think I might put that in, maybe do a little bit of work, bring out more of the detail. That one's possibly a better shot. And now here we go, is the long-tailed tit again. That is the image I was thinking of from the front. Oh, and there's what's that? That's a DNG. That looks like I've done some work on it. I will just keep this one for now because I'm probably going to run these through DxO before doing anything else with them. And then we went back to the cranes on a morning when it snowed, and this was the Super Swans as well. 46 minutes left. I love this shot. This too, where they hunkered down in the snow. You know, the cranes dance around a little bit when it starts snowing, and then when it gets really heavy, they just hunker down like this. And then as the snow starts to lighten up, they start dancing again. And then they leave. Let's keep that. That's another one that I like. So let's see. I'm going to put that in as well. Okay, cranky legs. Before I go on much further, I'm just once more going to check that we have a large number of images now in the, yeah, we've got 33 in the top 10. So it's now updating. Okay, let's put him in there for now. Let's see. There's the wildlife group. That was through the front window of the bus. I'm going to put that into the set for now. I want to take a look at that again. Now we've got the early morning shots with the eagles while they're still pretty much silhouetted. I do like the backlit water. Put him in as well. Okay. So, some of these shots, I look at them and they just bring back a feeling, and that sometimes at this point is all I need to hit the button to add these to the selects folder. It's on the key wall. Love shooting on that key wall. Okay, I like the chaos there. And this is the next morning again. Low light. Less harsh light. Okay, drop him in. So yeah, you'll see we get lots of chances to do these fish catching poses. Like the warm light on the sea there. Okay. Like the arc of the water there, or the arc, whatever. Okay, hit that one. And let's see, 42 minutes left. That's probably a better shot than the other one. Better fish. No. You've got to love these sea eagles. And here's another one. There's a deer running along. Another silhouette shot from the third morning. And okay, one of my participants I was speaking to in one of our monthly question times just a few days ago said that he got his best shots from that final morning, and that's often the way it is. If you don't shoot these a lot, you don't normally get results until the second or third day, and that's why we go 2 or 3 days. Plus we can actually get weathered off the snow. Not so much snow, but high winds or storms can prevent us from going out, and that is always makes you feel really happy that you had 3 days if you get stormed out for 1 day. Look at this, come on. I like the way it's not going to make the cut, but I like the way the what? Oh, hang on. I think I'm okay. Yeah, I noticed that this light is not on this camera, but I think I actually turned the light off. So we'll continue. And if I'm not recorded, you don't need to see me anyway. Yeah, I like the way the tail's catching the water here. I'm going to stick it in, but I think I'll probably remove it. 40 minutes left. Okay. Lots of these. I never actually went back. I normally go through and remove a few more from my finals, but I never got a chance to do that this year. I'm going to add that. So that means we're probably looking through more images in this set than I probably would in any other year, but this is the current me. Look at these guys. So yeah, if you do this yourself at any point, share an image because I love to see what people are doing. Look at those talons. Let's get this in there. You know what? I'm going to put that in as well because it's almost the same thing with a different species. And his face. What's he got there? Isn't that looks like a glove? I'm going to leave that in as well. So, okay, here's some flowers from the second of our two friends. Well, the third of three friends, but a couple that we lost, both of them, one last year and one this year. And we brought some of their flowers back, which I took into the studio and did a bit of black and white work on them. I'm going to put some of these, or one of these in. I'm going to put that in, I think. I actually also quite like that. And I don't know if these are going to make the cut, but keep going on those. I love the black and white version of that. And this was from our walking route when the cherry blossom was out. Don't think I'm going to... you know what? Keep it just in case. You can widen it out as well. And this, just a bit of variation. So, I'm going to end up with a set of... That's that new house. Okay, we've got a few bullet train shots there. This is from Akita when we went up to see friends. I'm going to leave that in because I'm partial to those shots. And this, being able to go out into my garden and just grab images in the garden has been absolutely wonderful. I think I'm going to put this in. And this one definitely, I've really enjoyed being able to go and do this out in our garden. I've got some messing around shots here. Look at this. Okay, then we did a bit of microscope work. I actually quite like some of these again. These look like someone looking up someone's nose. I think I'm going to put that in. I'll probably remove it, but I'm going to put it in for now anyway. Oh, it's this one, not that last one. This is the one that I prefer. And then we had this little visitor. I think I'm going to put this in. Let's say a beetle. It's a dead beetle. Picked it up out of the garden while it was relatively fresh. Even getting almost flowerscapes out of my own garden. I love that. And then the lavender. It's not a big garden, but it's been lovely to be able to do this. This guy, these came to eat my mandarin tree. Loads of them. Okay, now we're into some of the more recent. I think I've got one after that. This is the last one that I did that I'm more happy with. I'm going to keep the rusty moon in. I'm going to put this in because I want to see if I can get a bit of variation. That's my Acer. There's Jupiter with the Galilean moons. I don't think I'm going to put this in, but I love that shot. And these are a couple of recent just heads of lavender. I want to put both of these in for now. And if I choose them as wallpaper, I'm going to have to go into Photoshop and expand the canvas, but that might be worth doing. And I'm going to put this in for now as well. Okay, so I'm missing an image that I thought was already in here. Maybe it was demoted out. It's some of my friends. Oh, well, it's not here. Okay, so it shouldn't. Oh, okay. So this is the one. These should have had 3 stars against them, so that they were in that set. Now let's go back in, and it should be down towards the end. So this one's definitely going in, because I think this is the best shot I've done so far. There's M81 and 82, and the flaming star. Okay, so that's our first run done. We're at 33 minutes. And I see that we have 75 images in that set. So now, what I usually do is start to go in and break it down into groups. And we have 2 similar images here. So I'm going to look at both of them. Which do I prefer? And, you know, I think this one, the lighting, this shadow and subtle gradation under here, I think I prefer. So I'm going to hit delete, which will remove it from the set and not from my hard drive. I'm going to keep Andromeda for now. I don't want to flood the selection with astrophotography, but it's playing a big part of my photography at the moment. So I'm going to keep both of these for now. I'm going to keep that okay, I'll keep that as well. So if these are very similar, and I know I'm only going to keep one, and no, I'll make that decision a little bit later, because I want to give myself some choice. This, I love the sea, but I think if we pop out of black and white, where are we? Here we go. Yeah, there's too much. I don't want to do selective, but there's a little bit too much. Maybe I could just take. No, you know what? This decision is not for me to do here. Let's remove it from the set. I like it, but I'm not going to mess with it now. So this was the same location. I'm probably, I love this shot, but I don't think that's going to make the grade. I've got a lot more whittling down to do. I'm going to keep the boat graveyard for now. So of these, I think both of them can go. The moon over the Sawyer Cape Sawyer. I think I like this too much to lose for now. Okay, now that I love that location, but there's too much snow sticking through. The snow monkeys, we're not going to have more than a couple at most, and I think these frolicking shots are probably better. I don't know. I don't even know if these are going to make it, but I think out of all of them, that one, because it's got 2 relatively visible faces, this one as well. Okay, so I'm going to keep that and that, lose that and lose that. Lose that because we had another one that I like better that we added later. Now this, I'm going to leave both of those in for now. Here's this one that we added, and I want to leave that. I don't think that's going to make the cut, but I also I'm not sure if these are either. There's too many other birds. We'll get rid of that. This one over the last. I think I'll probably just be keeping that other one as well. So I'm actually hitting the delete key here to get rid of some of these as we go through, and we'll review the whole set again a little later. Now I know that we ended up with better ones of the catches, so I'm going to get rid of that, probably that as well. I'm going to keep that because I like the chaos. I think I'm going to remove that and that. Keep that. No. I don't think I'm going to have two of these arch water catches, so we'll defer to the Steller seagull there over the white-tailed eagle. That over that, there's better looking fish in this, and I think I like the contrast, although that's a difficult one. Let's make that decision later. So this is going to go because I prefer that over it, and that one as well. The tail catching the water is not that interesting. So these two may go in as a set. Keep that for now. I'll leave those in just for now. I don't think that we're going to have any more than one of those flower shots, but we'll leave them for now. That's not going anywhere. I'll keep that just for now, and that, and then some garden shots. That's not going to make it. So the second one of these was my favourite. Karate Kid. Keep that for now. I'm going to leave that in as well. Rusty Moon, Orion. Okay, so we are, after that second pass, we are now at 27 minutes and down to 45. So we're doing good here. I am going to go back to the top. I'm actually going to, I'm pretty sure I'm going to leave this in. And we need to start to think about more about the how the group, it's not a portfolio. I'm not so much worried about how the group works together, but I want to start to just essentially weed out the weaker shots. And at the end of the day, I've had this sort of image in the set quite a few times. I might defer to that. This I'm going to leave out. We've got to make a decision on these. This one's been in so many times. I'm going to go with this instead for now. It may not make the cut. The boat graveyard, make the decision later. So before I go on with this, I think I'm going to just quickly jump into DxO Photolab Pro. Photolab, whatever it is. Elite. I want to just see. Here we go. Got some modules to download. So I'm going to go here down to the deep prime and see what this does to the image. And I think we need, I'm nowhere near as fluent in using DxO as I am with Capture One, but I know that I want to bring out a little bit more detail with the shadows. And Now, I think also this clear view does a really nice job of giving everything a bit of a pop. Okay, you know what? I think I'll stick with this. I'm going to save it for now. I'm going to revisit this later when I've done. I might just give it a bit more of a boost before we put this out, but maybe the same with this. I'm going to keep that for now and get rid of this one. This guy, I guess the front on one is cuter, but I like the fact that we can see his tail in this. I'll keep the tail version for now. And I don't think people are going to appreciate that one as much as I do, so remove those. The chaos is shot with the eagles. Probably not going to make the cut. So we're back down to a few of the... Which of these do I prefer? I think artistically I prefer that. It's a crop, and I may just use the uncropped version, or try to crop it down a little bit more to a 2:3 ratio, but I think I'm going to leave this in for now as well. This is not going to make the final cut, I'm sure, and I may just go with one of these instead of the two. And that is probably gonna go. Remove that. I'm gonna remove that and that. I don't think people are going to get that so much either, but I don't know. I like it. Okay, so we're coming to the phase now. I think out of these, I think I prefer that. What I want to do though is open this quickly in Photoshop, and let's open it as a PSD 16-bit. Oh, I should have. I've actually, that was a crop. I should have opened it up and give us a bit more wiggle room. I may actually have taken the... Let's see if we've got a bit of room either side when this opens up. Not really, it's gone with the variant. Okay, so what I'm going to do though is I'm going to go to the canvas size and go with percent, and I'm going to make the width 150%, and looks like I can't do... That's not just... Surely that's not... Okay, anyway, I don't know. So I'm going to quickly do this, and then content aware fill. It'll probably regenerate some of the flower as well. No, it didn't. Okay. Content aware fill. Don't give me any flower. There you go. Okay, that doesn't look like 3x2 to me. And of course it won't be, because it was 4x5. So let's do this a little bit more intelligently. So the height is 619. Let's get a calculator. Times 1.59163. Oh, yeah, right. Very intelligent of you. 9163. And do this once more. And then we need to fill these in again. Oops, didn't grab it all there. Okay, that looks relatively clean. So I'm just going to save this back into Capture One, and we'll use this. And that way we have something we can also use as the I might put this into my set. I don't know, I'll keep them both for now. No, I won't. That one's gone. And I think I prefer that one over that, but it's difficult. I want to quickly do the same thing. We're running out of time. 17 minutes. Okay, I'll do it later. Maybe do this. Maybe keep that one and not the other. Now, the flaming star is gonna go. The Orion Nebula maybe also, but the moon's not gonna cut it. Okay, so this one also. That's not gonna make it. How many? I see from the top here we have 30 images left. So we still have to cut out 1 in 3. See ya. That's been in too many times already. And this is more of a memory than a shot that I'm going to share. So let's get rid of that for now. And okay. I'll leave that, get rid of that one. I like the eyes on this more. Nice catch light. These may clean them up a little bit more before posting the set, but realistically this is not going to make it. This guy maybe not either, but I don't know. One thing with this is I really like this little bead of dew on under his belly there. No. You probably aren't going to make it either, but so I'm going to get rid of Orion. I don't think this is going to make it. I've got leaves. I've got too many of the others. I'm going to get rid of that as well. And we're now down to 21. That means I've got to get rid of 9 more for the 12 and 11 for the top 10. I think this is going to have to go. Probably YouTube. And as much, you know what, you guys as well. I don't think you're going to make it. So this is, so see, this is now, we're at 18. 6 more for the 12, and we have 8 more to get rid of for the top 10. We've got 14 minutes left. We're doing okay on time. So yeah, this is the Zacharias moment where you have to start to, you're like almost like lining up your children and deciding which ones to shoot. I know that's a somewhat morbid way to say it, but got a lot of respect for Zach Arias and his work ethic, so I'm not going to pan that in any way. Okay, this is going to stay. I think you're going to have to go, and in all fairness, probably you as well, but I love the Snow Monkeys. Okay, 5 more. See ya. I think that's going to have to go as well. I do like this, but I think maybe that one is not as strong as the others anyway. So 14, we need to get rid of 2 more for my 12 wallpaper shots, where every one of them, now that we've fixed that other one, every one of them is a landscape orientation, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's say goodbye to that. And I think it's right now for my 10. I think it's down to probably will remove. Need to get. Let's just do this. I want to get rid of that because I love those catching fish shots, but I've had them in the set so many times over the years. So we're now down to 12. This is the selection for the yearly wallpaper. That's done. Yes. Just one more. So now I'm going to take these. Why? Oh, it's, yeah, okay. So I'm going to, let's see. Isn't there a way? I think there should be a way to duplicate this set. No? Okay. So I will create session. Why is it? I just want to a new album, and I'm going to call this my wallpaper, and I'm just going to copy all of these into there. Okay, we've got 10 minutes left. We're going to do this in the hour. Copy all of these into the wallpaper album. That's that done. And now we have to remove 2 of these for my top 10. Oops, wrong place to click. I think just 2 photographs is fine. I think in all honesty, this Snow Monkey shot is probably the one that I'm going to remove. I don't know. I think probably people will appreciate this shot of the swans flying away less than I do. Ultimately, though, as wallpaper, oh no, the others are wallpaper. What should I do? Top 10. I've got 9 minutes to deliberate on this, but I don't want to spend a whole 9 minutes if possible. I think come on. This really is it. The shooting of the children thing. Oh, come on. I want to go back and open them full size one by one again. Okay, got all of these winter scenes. I think it's going to have to be this. And now one more. Probably out of what we've got left there, I would say that this is probably the lowest hanging fruit. So let's get rid of that. So that's it. That's my top 10 for 2025. I'm going to clean these up a little bit, and we have 7 minutes. I don't think I'm going to do it. Well, actually, no. You know what? Why not? Let's go in. I want to take a look at this in DxO. I know I could do more with it in Capture One as well, but I want to see what DxO will do with this. First of all, with the Deep Prime, let's see if that gives us anything that doesn't look like anything that I wasn't already aware of popping out there. I do want to bring out the shadows a little bit more, not that much. Actually, we could do that, but then I need to tweak. Let's take a look with clear view. Yeah, gives us a nicer bit of sharpness and detail around the eyes and the feathers. Smart lighting. That actually does a better job than the shadows slider. I like that. The beak has gone really hot. What? Don't like the fact that the beak is so intensely orange in that. Why is that? It's coming from here. So let's take down the clear view. I'm not sure if that's still very intense, the orange. I'm going to turn off clear view, I think. Okay. I think I'm going to probably go in and using a control point. I'm going to drop a control point over the beak and try to reduce the I don't know where to go to reduce the saturation. I'm not used to DxO yet. I can almost hear a number of you screaming, "It's there, it's there." I'm not sure if that's the right place to be. Doesn't seem to be doing it either. Oh, that's definitely not where I need to be. Maybe select the orange and... No, I don't want to do like that kind of work. Saturation. Okay. There it is. Okay. Found it finally. That's better. That's much better. Okay. And then maybe we can go back and... Where was it? Okay, we're 3 minutes. I'm gonna do this very quickly, and I think I'm in the wrong place. Where was it? Okay, I've lost where I had done that other change. I think it was here, wasn't it? No. I've still got the... Actually, I'm going to leave that about there. I've still got the... For some reason, still got the mask selected. Need to go to the background or something. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to leave that there for now, and we're down to 2 minutes anyway. So I'll come back and tweak these a little bit more, but that's essentially my process. And again, I think it's a really important thing to do this each year. I will put a post together. I will link, this is, as I've mentioned before, and over the last few weeks, a few months, but the main place to go to find my videos, well, my content now, is YouTube. Go to mbp.ac, that's mbp for Martin Bailey Photography.ac/YouTube. I'll have a link on the screen for you now. And from in there, I'll probably put a link to a post on my website, but also just in the comments in YouTube. If you've done a top 10 of your own, either based on something that you've been doing yourself, or if you've been doing it based on the fact that I do this every year and you've heard me talk about this before. If you have a top 10 that you can share, please share a link in the comments, either on the blog or on the in the YouTube comments area. I'd love to see what you're doing yourself. It doesn't have to be top 10. The important thing, I mean, I know that some people do 12, some people do 20, some people do 5, whatever. The important thing is to try to get down to the number that you set as your goal, and not necessarily a 10. But I think it's important to try to, let's see if I can cancel this. Echo. タイマーをキャンセルして。Okay. So yeah, the important thing I think is to do the exercise. Give yourself a goal of a specific number to try to whittle down to, and then work hard to get there. And you might also do things like you want to do a specific set of landscape work or wildlife work, whatever genres you're working in. If you think about what I've got here, I mean, although the astrophotography is different in a way, it's pretty much still my running ground. You know, it's nature, it's natural things, and so I'm pretty happy with this set, especially for this year, because I've been sort of sidetracked with the astrophotography, and I'm glad that I got to a point with, even with this very steep learning curve, that I got to the point where I actually had a couple of images that I could include here and feel proud of in the set. And you know, a lack of Namibia feels strange. I've been going to Namibia for well over 10 years, but it's not to be at the moment. I won't go into the details. It's my own decision, with a certain amount of external influence, but I'm not going to go into that. So this is the last video of 2026. I have a few things that I want to do that I will hopefully be able to produce and put out before I start my winter tour season. One before that, and then I'll try to give you a few updates on the tours themselves in January and February. And then I am also really going to be trying to get back to the astro work and really try to work on that. I've got a few things that I want to do. I want to take you through the whole process, just setting it. I've done a setup video, but my setup's completely changed since then. And I'm really happy with how the system's working now. So I think I'm going to take you through that at some point as well. The problem is with it, of course, is you set up in the dark most of the time. I do now have a tent enclosure, a tent with no roof, that I'm putting it in for security purposes. But of course, a tent's not going to stop people very much if they wanted to come in. So I'm still sitting up the whole night watching it. But I'm doing that over high quality video cameras now, as rather than sitting out in the warm or in the hot or the cold. But yeah, having a lot of fun with that, and I think it's going to continue to play a big part in my photography, so I'll start to share more about that. But that is it. I've probably got a red face as I've been sitting here in my warm office. I've been outside doing work before I started this, and my eyes are starting to twitch because I'm getting a bit tired as well. But thanks for sticking with me through 2025, and all the best for 2026 and beyond. And again, let me know if you do a top 10 yourself. I'd love to see your images and what you've been up to. And yeah, I'll see you again in 2026, probably in the first week or so. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.